Hello, hello, J-Bays. So you may have noticed that I am a bald baddie now. Hey y'all. How you doing? Also, featuring Draco, who's being weird back there. But anyway, this is not about him. It's about me. Oh yeah, I did a big chop and I just wanted to talk about my experience with it real quick because it's been very interesting journey for me. I guess I should talk about why I did it. I was just at the dentist last week, and dental assistant, whatever they're called, she was asking me, she's like, well, what inspired you to do this? She's a black woman. Everybody at my dental office is a black woman. She was she was asking me what inspired me to do it, because she's been wanting to cut her hair like that too, but she's never she's always just never had the courage to. And that was one of the reasons why I did it. Well, there's a couple reasons. One, I've always wanted to cut my hair. I just have always been nervous that it either wouldn't look good or that it wouldn't grow back and then I would be bald for the rest of my life. And then secondly, I am a natural hair person, but I'm a very lazy natural hair person. So when I have my long, thick 4C hair, which I do love, it is a lot of maintenance and time, and I just don't have the patience for it. So I really wasn't taking the best care of my hair that I should have been doing, simply because I'm a lazy natural. So cutting my hair has always been appealing to me because I knew it would be less maintenance, but there was always that fear of like, well, what if I end up not liking it, that my hair is short and I'm stuck like this forever? Kind of leads me into the second thing that I kind of wanted to talk about, is why did I wait so long? I've been wanting to do this for years. I have been looking at styles. I think I have always loved short hair on women, especially black women. And I've loved over the last, I would say 5 years or so, seeing way more black women just completely either go fully bald or the very short cuts. I think we look fucking amazing with our hair short like this. But for some reason I couldn't transfer that image to myself. And so I had been like saving these different hairstyles on like Pinterest and Instagram and just kind of looking at like what kind of a cut I would like, but I never really pulled the trigger on it because I was still being held back by fear. And it wasn't just fear. One of the things that when I really sat down and I thought about like why it scares me so much, or why I'm so like hesitant to cut my hair, it really made me think about the journey that I've been on with my hair. And it made me realize that black people, especially black women, we have had to use our hair as a political tool for our whole lives. And I really do feel that we carry a lot of trauma and history within our hair. And what I mean by that is like, I am somebody who grew up in the early 90s when natural hair was not a thing, right? There wasn't a natural hair movement. It wasn't a thing for black people to wear their hair out natural. In fact, it wasn't accepted to wear your hair natural. Every black person that I saw or that I knew had their hair pressed out. It was straight. It was in those big, insane church curls. You had relaxers. You did not go around seeing black people, black women with natural curly 4C hair. Like if you were mixed and you had like maybe like a type 3A, 3B, you could kind of get away with it. But if you had some nappy ass hair like I do, you didn't wear an afro out. Like that, this just wasn't a thing. It had to be in braids, it had to be a weave, it had to be sewn, it had to be something to hide your hair, because it simply was not socially acceptable for black people to have their hair out. And there's a whole separate history lesson on that. There's actually a really great book called Hair Story. I think it's called Hair Story: Untangling the Roots of Hair in America, or something like that. It's a really great book that goes through the history of black hair and politics, like how black hair has been used in politics throughout the history of America, because a lot of people don't know this, but it quite literally used to be illegal for black people to wear their hair like visible. To have your hair visible, you had to be covered at all times. It was illegal because racism. But all that rambling to say, like, I grew up in a time where I quite literally went through the natural hair movement as it started. It was a thing that like we did so much damage and did so much to cover up our blackness and our natural hair, because that's what society required of us. Not even just expected, but it's what we were required to do, right? In order to survive and be in white America, it was that you could not present as black, which means you could not have curly natural hair. Even still to this day, I mean, the Crown Act just passed in 2019. We are still dealing with this issue right now where our natural hair is a problem in America. And so to grow up in a time where it quite literally was not acceptable to have your hair out, and then growing up through this whole natural hair movement where suddenly people are just wearing their natural hair out proud and undoing all the trauma and the damage that we did to our hair. Like, I think back on my natural hair used to be very fucking long, but because of all the damage and the relaxers and the fucking scalp blisters and shit that we went through, damaging, just literally chemically burning off our hair and burning our scalps just to be accepted and to survive in white America. Like, quite literally damaging our own bodies because white America would not allow us to just naturally be ourselves. And so growing up through all of that trauma with my hair, I finally got to a point where that natural hair movement really took off. So like mid 2000s, and I actively remember, I think it kind of coincided with like the rise of hair gurus or whatever you call them on YouTube, and where people were like starting to make your own products. Like, you guys got to remember that like even like black hair care was not a thing. There were not products for black hair. A lot of y'all who are younger don't understand that like this was not normalized. Like, now you can walk into Target and you can find a whole aisle of just black hair products. That did not used to be a thing, you know? And so growing up in this time where there was so much political pressure and trauma involved in my hair, when I finally went natural, I promised myself, you know, I was never going to put heat on my hair again. I was never going to do relaxers on my hair, because I was like, I owe it to myself and to my hair to love it and let it be how it is naturally. And so that's what I did for most of my adulthood life, right? I've just had natural hair. I've had it out either an afro or like a protective style. The other issue I've had is I've been working with my hair by myself for pretty much since I went natural, because I just don't trust hairdressers with my hair. There are so many people, even black people, I would say most black people, if they even know how to do natural hair, because again, natural hair, black hair care is not taught in cosmetology school, or at least in most of them. They don't understand how to actually take care of black hair. And two, a lot of them either refuse to or simply can't work with 4C hair in particular. And that's a whole nother conversation that can be added into the natural hair movement about texturism. I've seen people that charge extra if you have 4C hair and just a whole bunch of other shit like that. So I've been doing my own hair naturally by myself. This is one of the reasons why I wanted something low maintenance, because girl, I don't have the time or the energy. So yes, I would spend the 8 to 12 hours every few months to do my own braids or to do my own twists, and trying to learn how to cornrow and flat twist and doing it all myself. YouTube University, baby. And so I say all that to say, I think why a lot of that fear was installed in me about cutting my hair is it kind of felt like a betrayal to myself, right? I had to do a little bit of a big chop when I went natural because of all the damage I did to my hair. And so I had promised myself, of course, that I was going to take care of my hair and love my hair and never do anything again to damage my hair. So I never put dye in it. I never used heat on it. I didn't use any more chemicals, relaxers. I never got a silk press or anything like that. And I haven't really done anything besides have my hair out or have it in box braids or Marley twists. The idea of me just shaving it all off just for funsies seemed almost like a betrayal to what me and my hair journey have accomplished thus far. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody else, but it makes sense to me when I really sat down to think about, like, why do I have all this fear about my freaking hair? It's hair. Like, who cares? And I realized it does matter, you know? Like, we've been through a lot of fucking shit with our hair. Our hair has quite literally been weaponized against us. We have to fight to literally have our hair that grows out of our head. Kids are still being banned and sent home and fined for having just the natural fucking hair that grows out of our black ass scalp. Our hair is still being used as a weapon. And so it is something that was very scary to me to just be like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna cut it off, because all of this progress that I've done to repair the damage I did to my hair, it felt like a betrayal to myself and to my hair. And then the other thing that came up for me a lot was, I think, just the stigma of length and hair, especially within the Black community. There's just so much stigma around this idea that Black people cannot have long hair, particularly Black women, right? Like, even to this fucking day, y'all will see Cardi B or Beyonce with their natural hair out, and you're like, there's no way that she could possibly have hair that long, it must be a wig. Like, there's still this insane stigma that Black people just cannot have hair or cannot have healthy, long, natural hair, and I mean, I know why that stigma exists. It's literally just anti-Blackness and racism. But, like, the amount of Black people that still buy into that is fucking crazy. Like, logically, why would you think that Black people's hair just stops growing at a point? Like, how does that make sense? And so with that stigma, I've never bought into that stigma, but one of the things I had always beat myself up with was the fact that I always felt like my hair wasn't growing, or I would never get it back to the length it was before I did all that damage to it in the 90s and early 2000s. Because if you notice when I've done my videos, if you follow me on social media, if you follow me on YouTube, my hair has been relatively around the same length when it's into afro. Like, obviously I have crazy shrinkage because of my 4C hair. Like, it's crazy. I have really thick hair. I have a lot of hair, but it never really got super long. And part of that was, again, because I'm terrible at taking care of my hair. So I'm very bad at, like, breakage and length retention, and I really do the bare minimum for it. So that's on me. But I always had beat myself up about, damn, you're just never gonna get it back to where it was before you did all that damage on your hair, and so you did this to yourself. With that, like, I guess guilt and trauma in my hair, to just be like, well, fuck it. All this progress, all this work I've been doing to heal my hair and try to get that length back, and now I'm just gonna fucking cut it off. Like, that's crazy to me. And so it was something that I actually had to take up with my therapist, and I talked about it for a few sessions and really dug deep into, you know, why I was feeling this way and where that trauma was coming from and all this stuff. And I really just had to sit with myself and journal and just do some self-reflection about the stigma and this fear and just this political weight that we have attached to our hair. And finally, I was just like, you just have to do it. You just got to do it. It's something that I want to do, but I'm having all these things that are holding me back, and all of it is really just fear. And it's not, I wouldn't say it's not irrational, because all of these things are very valid and matter, of these experiences that I've been through, and they are valid and they matter. But at the end of the day, like, it is just hair. And so I was like, I'm never gonna do this unless I just make the fucking appointment and just don't turn back. And so I did. And then my biggest hurdle with that, once I decided, okay, I gotta do this, because I've been doing my hair so long, I don't have like a regular hair person that I go to, especially since I live in LA. Child, don't even get me started on the fucking hairstylists out here. They be wildin'. I think it would have been a little bit easier for me if I had like a hair person that I regularly went to and like knew my hair and worked with my hair. But because I literally have not been to a hairstylist in over a decade, I had to start from ground zero with such a big request of like, cut my hair off. I'm terrified. I don't know what I'm doing, but I need to trust you to cut my hair off. But my requirements was a woman, a Black woman. I do not trust an XY chromosome to cut women's hair. Listen, I'm sure that there are some great male barbers that can do women's hair, but when I'm already carrying all this fear and burden, I was like, I need a woman, and I need somebody who understands like how big of a fucking deal a big chop is for a Black woman. Second thing I needed was, again, because it's 2025 and these hairstylists be fucking wildin', I was like, I'm not doing one of the people that like, you gotta have a deposit, you gotta already come with your haircut, you gotta come with your hair shampooed, styled, flat ironed out, the deposit doesn't go towards the final part. Like, these hair people be wildin', okay? Especially out here in LA, they're crazy. I know so many people that literally will fly out of state, like we'll fly back to Atlanta or fly back to the person in New York to get the hair done rather than deal with LA hairstylists. They are fucking crazy. But I ended up finding someone, shout out to Erin at Crown of Creation. If you're in LA, check her out. But one of the things that drew me to her is, one, she didn't have all those stupid requirements, and then two, she quite literally has a service for a big chop. And I messaged her before I even booked the appointment. I'm like, hey, I'm trying to do a big chop. I'm really kind of terrified, so I need somebody mainly just to kind of like hold my hand through it and help me find a style. Like I had some pictures, I had some ideas of what I kind of would like, but like mainly I'm kind of terrified. So I basically just need a barber that's gonna like hook me the fuck up and also like hold my hand if I need to cry. And she was super great. She responded to my email. She totally understood where I was coming from. I just got great vibes from her. So I went ahead and booked the appointment March 1st, and I didn't look back. I did it. I went in. Really terrifying to sit there in the mirror and watch years and years of my work and my growth just be cut off. But it was also really freeing. All right, y'all, you ready? Oh, look at this baddie. Yo, Miss Erin fucked it up. Yes. She clean. I feel like a whole new woman. Yes, bitch. Oh my God. You know, also seeing my hair this short has made me realize how long my hair actually was. Because I always beat myself up about my hair not maintaining growth. But now seeing it short, I'm like, bitch, you had a lot of hair. Yes, this is fire. Anyway, thanks for all the encouragement, guys. This was a huge step for me. Wow. Kind of how I wanted to end this video was just talk about like what it's like now and how I'm feeling now. I think the first thing that immediately came to my mind was a sigh of relief. Like it was just so, I feel like healing just to cut all of it off and shed all of that weight, all that guilt, and just realize again, like it's just hair. It's just hair. We carry all of this shit on our shoulders and in our hair, this trauma in our bodies. And at the end of the day, it's literally just hair. You can cut it off. It'll grow back. You can do whatever you want to it. It's fine. Even if it doesn't grow back, who cares? It's just hair. Being able to just shed myself of that worry was amazing. And I just felt like weights coming off my shoulders with every single cut that she made with my hair. The second thing that I immediately noticed is that holy shit, I actually do have really long hair. I have really long hair and I have a lot of hair. If you remember when I was talking before about feeling so guilty about my length, it made me realize that like, girl, you were beating yourself up for nothing. When I looked on the floor at all the hair that she cut off and the length of it when you stretch it out, I was like, oh. My hair was fucking healthy and thick and long. Like I was beating myself up for nothing, for basically just having shrinkage, because my hair does shrink like crazy. And it just was just really liberating to let that guilt go of just like, you were over here worried about shit that wasn't even real. Like you were blaming yourself for length retention when that wasn't even a problem. Your length was fine. And lastly, I've really enjoyed being able to look at myself different with like this different lens of beauty. I have never in my life, and I didn't do any of this for other people, but I have never in my life gotten more compliments on my looks than since I have shaved my hair. Like people are stopping, people are turning heads, and I'm not even trying to like gas myself up like that. In fact, it's surprising to me because again, I think we put so much value in hair on women, especially black women, about having like this full head of hair. So then to shave it off and then people are like, God damn, like what? Who is this? I keep telling people it's had me enter my fuckboy era. I already struggle a bit with my self-image, and so my hair was always something that like drew the whole picture together for me. So then to shave it off and then be like, holy shit, I actually have like really fucking great facial features. I actually look really fucking good, hair or not. I look fucking great. And it's been really fun to be able to just like play with my wardrobe, and I've been playing with wearing like big earrings and accessories, and it's just been so much more fun to just kind of open up to this new standard of beauty with having no hair, or having short hair at least. So yeah, I just wanted to share my experience about getting a big chop. I know it's a really big decision for black women, and it really was a freeing thing for me to do. If it's something that you want to do, I say absolutely go for it. Really sit with yourself and talk to yourself about what it is that you're scared about. It's my year of doing shit. I said this 2025, I said it's just my year of doing shit, and I've been really enjoying it. So yeah, that's my big chop story, my big chop journey. If you are also thinking about doing a big chop, I say go for it. I would say just find a few different styles that you think might look good on you. There's a couple of Instagram accounts that I think were helpful. Pinterest is another one that's helpful to save some hairstyles, but find a good barber. Particularly, please get a black woman. I beg of you, whether you're a woman or a man or a non-binary girly pop, you know. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope this helped somebody either feel better about their big chop or maybe make the decision for a big chop, or if you're just wondering what it's like to go through a big chop and you have no desire or are ever thinking about doing as such. But hit the like button, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Bye, J-Base.